Good morning. Welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn. This morning I want to share with you this card that I had on my blog last night for casing the Catty, and I have also used the whitewash technique on the flowers here, which come from the Nature's Harvest stamp set. It has lovely realistic images and gorgeous greetings and fonts there for you. Let me show you the card that I have that inspired me with that lovely layout. It's in the mini catalogue, which has only got until the end of June to go. And we were casing projects from this chapter, which was going from page 75 right through all of the bundles that are featured in this catalogue, and this one here is the card that inspired my layout for my project here, and I've just added more colour obviously and included the whitewash technique. Some of the things that I've used in this card are this lovely paper, which, let me show you, that is only available until the end of June. It is called the Supple Shimmer paper, and it's on page 67. Let me show you, that's this one here. There are two sheets of paper. One's pink and one's a very, very iridescent light Pool Party blue, and I have used the pink one, which coordinates very, very nicely with the Sweet Sorbet metallic ribbon. Okay, that's enough chit-chat from me. Let's get to the project. Now, I have used this die for my card, which comes from the Harvest dies, which actually coordinates with the Nature's Harvest stamp set. So there's 8 dies. Some of them coordinate with the floral designs, and then you've got 2 labels for the greetings, and then there are some excellent dies that stand alone, with including this one here, which really add a lot of great dimension and depth to lots of images. So I've already done the die cutting from the pink supple glimmer paper for that one, ready to go. So I'll just pop that over there. Alright, put my card here so you can see that as well, and my glimmer. Alright, I've already die cut my label for my thank you greeting, so that you don't have to watch me. There's the instructions. I did this card in a class last week with the ladies. Oh no, the humidity here is unbelievable. My envelope has attached itself to the card a little. Okay, pull out all my bits and pieces, make sure I've got everything. Okay, so I'm using Petal Pink for my card base, already pre-scored, and combining that with Sweet Sorbet. So there's the Sweet Sorbet metallic ribbon, which as you can see is a beautiful coordinating with the pink supple paper. And I'm using Sweet Sorbet cardstock and Whisper White. So for the inside of my card, I've got the Whisper White on the inside, and then for the front of my card, I've got the Whisper White on the outside to create my border. But the first thing we have to do before we do anything else is get this whitewashing going, because it takes a little while to dry. So I just need to get that going and set aside, and we can do the other things. Alright, now I'm using, as I said, Sweet Sorbet, but I am going to use a darker colour for my stamping. So I've decided on Cherry Cobbler, because that'll just make it stand out, give it a little bit more contrast on the Sweet Sorbet. So I don't like doing it in the air. I like to do it on the table. Make sure I'm all inked up there nicely. Alright, and then I'll stamp my flowers. Close that up so I don't stick my fist in it. There we go. Alright, so there's my beautiful arrangement of flowers there. And to do the whitewash technique, I'm using our Whisper White Craft Pigment ink pad and using the reinker that comes with it, and just squirting a little bit into the lid of my ink pad there so that I can use it any time. And with the blender pens, now these are different to our, I'm just going to close that up a little bit, stamping blends, in that these have no colour with them, but you can use them with any ink to create any sort of, say, instead of, I often use a water painter. I love water painter, which gives it a really, so I can use any ink and water paint and paint with it in colour. And I love that watery look. But if you prefer a more controlled look that comes out like a felt tip marker, the blender pen is a great tool to use. So you just pop it into the white there, and then colour in between the lines. So basically just colouring in with the white ink. Now it does dry lighter once it dries, but you just pop your ink into each of the petals there, and you can come back later on when it dries and add more depth if you like, and gives a really lovely effect, doesn't it? It creates a different look. This technique can also be used to add colour as well. Once you've done your white, you can add colour over the top, but because of the nature of this cardstock and the white and the colours I've used, when it dries it leaves it a lovely pink tone, which works really well with all of the other pinks we've got going on in the project. There we go. Quite simple technique, but makes you look very artistic. Okay, put this one over here. We actually have a little bit of sun shining today. First time in days, but I probably shouldn't say anything because I might put the kibosh on the sun coming out again, because it's been a very rainy weekend and we have lots more rain predicted during the week. So the grass is very green, and the irony for us today is where I live we've got no water because there's a problem further down on the way towards town. So fortunately I have a little bit of tank water I can drink, which is rather wonderful. Just add a little bit more there. As you can see, I'm not being particularly specific or precise. I'm just adding the white onto the flowers. And the image itself is doing all of the work for me. I'm just highlighting the flowers there. Alright, and you can see how that's dried a little bit pinker up there. So I'll just add a little bit more white here. And anywhere that I've coloured over the top of the cherry cobbler stamped ink, once it dries it will shine through. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'll close that up. Just wipe off any excess there. Rightio. I'll pop that one aside so that it can dry, and next I'll stamp. I'll just turn that up so my greeting and some flowers that I forgot to show you the inside of my card. I've just stamped the other floral image on the inside of my card, so I'll stamp that. Just drop my piece of paper, and I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet, which is the same as the cardstock for that one. Okay, so get my little floral image and give that one a little bit of a stamp along the edge to create that lovely little garden for the inside of my card. That one done. And then I've got my thank you here to make a lovely thank you card. Let's have a look. And thank you. Beautiful. Okay, I think that's all my stamping complete, so I can take my little mat out of the way. Alright, let's start putting some of these things together for my card. You're not dry yet, so you need to sit over there for a minute. Rightio. I can pop this one on the front of my card in the centre. Can tie my bow in preparation for when I'm ready to put it in the card. There we are. So that's ready to go. Right, and we can put our inside pieces on for the inside of the card. And okay. Alright, there's the inside of my card complete, ready so I can write to my recipient. Alright, I think on this one I'm going to add some, I'm going to be very careful because it's still a little bit wet. Just pop my dimensionals on the back of my card here. Oops. There we are. Pop that one just inside that frame there. Alright, and then these guys, I find the easiest way to glue them is either using the adhesive sheet and die cutting that with it stuck onto the back, or just a couple of dots of just a few little bits here and there, not much. In the junction areas, because we're going to cover it up with the thank you, which will help hold it in place. Okay, I'll pop that off to the side there. Hold that in place for a minute. And then some dimensionals on the back of my thank you. And add that to my card there. As I said, anchoring over that lovely little bit of fronds. And then the last thing is my ribbon, and I find the best way to adhere ribbon to a card is using our mini glue dots. So I've used quite a few different adhesives on this card. They all have a different role to play and all do a magnificent job. Oh, picked up a dimension on my finger. I'll just pop that one down there. And there we go, my card is complete. Thank you, with a lovely whitewash technique for you. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll give it a go. The whitewash technique for colouring in like that works really well with the lovely realistic images, and you can actually see in our catalogue examples of doing the whitewash technique with the Cottage Rose stamp set. So have a flip through our new annual catalogue and have a look at that one, and you'll enjoy that. Bye bye now. Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much.